Every major corporation right now is pouring billions of dollars into artificial intelligence. Boardrooms are mandating predictive systems and generative models across every department, driven entirely by the fear of being left behind. This chart shows a stark reality. It tracks the massive volume of capital entering corporate AI initiatives versus actual successful deployments. Up to 95% of these projects fail to deliver a tangible return on investment, and 42% are entirely abandoned before they ever reach production. This happens because of a widespread assumption that simply acquiring advanced technology will naturally result in financial performance. Leaders are greenlighting massive budgets based on momentum, skipping the step where they build a strict pre-implementation business case. The result is a cycle of expensive experimentation. Companies are deploying complex models in search of a business problem to solve, guaranteeing their strategic investments turn into unrecoverable sunk costs. When organizations try to manage this adoption, they usually rely on a scattered collection of tools. They plan million-dollar deployments using basic readiness checklists, disconnected spreadsheets, and static slide decks. Analysts call this the consulting artifact trap. A multiple-choice survey might give you a maturity score, but it is only measuring executive perception. It creates the illusion of progress without actually connecting your readiness to a unified strategy. This visualization maps out the structural void known as the AI execution gap. On one side is technological ambition and capital investment. On the other is measurable enterprise impact. The scattered tools at the bottom of the chasm completely fail to bridge the two sides. Crossing this gap requires a system of rigorous pre-execution discipline that evaluates the entire landscape from a higher vantage point. Escaping the high failure rate of corporate AI requires abandoning chaotic ground-level experimentation. Success demands structured apex-level foresight before a single model is ever trained. This is VEXA Stratagem. It is the world's first integrated digital platform built specifically to govern the entire pre-execution lifecycle of enterprise artificial intelligence. The system operates across 4 distinct pillars. The first is strategy. Much like an owl surveying a forest from above, Stratagem demands a top-down view that anchors every AI initiative strictly to a measurable business objective, putting an end to endless proof-of-concept chasing. The second pillar is readiness. This diagram tracks maturity across 5 areas: vision, data, technology, governance, and talent. It quantifies actual capabilities, highlighting structural risks that derail projects. It isolates specific vulnerabilities, like fragmented data pipelines and ungoverned shadow IT. Anchoring the strategy early and exposing these foundational weaknesses ensures that organizations do not attempt to build sophisticated predictive models on top of broken, unreliable architecture. In nature, an apex predator does not expend energy on a guess. It calculates the distance and strikes only when the catch is assured. Stratagem applies this exact precision through its third pillar, ROI. This flowchart maps readiness gaps to cost drivers, generating a financial model with projected payback timelines. Every AI initiative is forced through this filter. If it cannot prove financial viability, it does not earn its right to exist. Even a financially viable, perfectly coded model will fail if the people meant to use it refuse to adapt. This introduces the final pillar, change. Stratagem operationalizes structured, 8CAR-inspired change pathways. 8CAR is a specific framework for managing the people side of change. The system uses it to generate communication guides that help leaders and employees navigate new behavioral shifts, treating human adoption as a measurable track rather than an afterthought. True precision at the enterprise scale requires a balance. It relies on brutal financial mathematics to justify the build, and structured human empathy to ensure the technology actually becomes part of the daily workflow. Strategy, readiness, ROI, and change function together as a single, unbroken digital continuum. This integrated flow generates a prioritized, living execution roadmap. What used to require months of manual analysis across dozens of disjointed documents is now productized into a unified, automated discipline. This reflects VEXA's core operating philosophy, the power of simple. It cuts through complex organizational noise with a singular, measurable focus on execution. This system transforms AI from a speculative playground into a highly governed, predictable business process. In the age of intelligent enterprise, the work you do before you build is what determines your success. Pre-execution readiness is the very first metric of true value creation.